So, good evening to all of you. I welcome you all for this English debate session. Before going to the session, I would love to give a small introduction about our programs. We, in the name of igniting young minds, we are actually in touch with all the school children and then trying to find out how we can help them. One of the ways of helping them is to conduct some coaching for the competitive exams like NTSC, NMMS, Trust, etc. Plus, we identified a lot of hidden talents during this coaching. Some students are good in Tamil Pattimandram, Tamil Kavidai, and then English debate, and some are good in many other aspects. And we started giving them spoken English class, plus we have started giving this UPSC preliminary examination orientation, and then we started conducting this Tamil Pattimandram as well as English debate. And we have found that a lot of wonderful students are there all over in Tamil Nadu who has got lot of potential. In fact, the potential which I never thought that will be the kind of potential that will be available inside Tamil Nadu. So we thought we will nurture them, we will give them the proper water and fertilizer, etc., so that they will blossom as a very good flower or a sweet fruit when they grow up. So that was the idea. A lot of our well-wishers are there. I welcome Murali Madasamy. Murali Madasamy is from IIT Madras and he has completed his MBA from IIM Calcutta, and right now he is after retirement he is staying in Coimbatore in his place. Then the second, Mr. Srinivas. Srinivas is our secretary of Institute of Liberal Studies, and you may know that one of other meeting that he organized and we all attended their particular meeting. And then who else? Any other dignitaries? As and when they come, I will introduce them to you. And these dignitaries are all well qualified. They are from different walks of life. I love our children will be exposed to such people, so that they will also guide them and give their helping hand to all our children. So that was the objective of inviting our dignitaries. I request our dignitaries to stay till the end and give your tips for our children on any aspect of life. So with that introduction, I would now request Ilakya, who is the moderator for this debate, to start off her session. Ilakya, it is your stage now.
Yeah, very warm greetings to one and all present in this session. It's my pleasure to be the moderator for this debate, and I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you present in this amazing debate session. And today's topic for our debate is more relevant to our current situation. Should we have minimum education qualification for MLAs and MPs? So before moving on to the debate session, I just want to give my small opinion about this topic. And I have two answers for this topic. My first answer to the first part is yes. Politicians should have minimum education qualification. Education exactly means understanding of the world. In today's world, everything is driven by technology. One always needs to be aware of situations all around the world, should be able to access and analyze the information and act accordingly. You can only get a better position in a politics only when you are up to date on ongoing issues. To improve as a person and personality, you must read a lot and try to gain knowledge on various subjects. Today, everything is technically inclined, so must able to read and write. You may get emails regarding many issues without proper education. We can't even able to access the depth of the problem. If you want to write a letter to a concerned authorities, one must have educator. One must not dependent on someone on every issues. Qualification sometimes gives a better position in politics because they will be aware of certain issues, so that can resolve very effectively. Another important point is there is no official training for politicians. After the win of the election, you need to aware of the constitution rights power that MLA, MP, etc. have to exercise their duty, especially the game of politics. And also, my second answer is no. There is no education required to become an MP or MLA in our country because the Constitution, while mentioning various eligibilities conditions, doesn't mention anything about education qualification. Education qualification is for those people who have a defined job profile. When the job is created, the definition consists of what is done in the job, how is some specific issues handled, and what should be the minimum qualification of the person to occupy their position so that the job doing becomes more effective and etc. Similarly, the relevant qualification for being MLA or MP is ability to understand people's concerns, problems, and to represent their interests. Whether they can do so or not is examined by lakhs of voters. In our country, considering education as a qualification means denying a major part of population the right to contest. So this is what my opinion about today's topic. Now, let's begin our amazing debate session with four of our amazing speakers. And the first speaker who's going to be starting is Lakshana from 11th standard at Sri GRM Girls Higher Secondary School from Tiruvarur district, who's going to be talking on the affirmative part of the topic. Please, Lakshana.
Yeah, before we start off with Lakshana, I now introduce Mr. Sundareswaran sir for coming for this session. I thank you so much. I welcome you. Yeah, Lakshana, you can start off.
Good evening, everyone. I'm blissful to express my thoughts here in front of you all. First of all, thank you for each and everyone who came here to watch this show. Your presence was the noblest one to us. Okay, let's get into the topic. Should we have minimum educational qualification for MLAs and MPs? Why there is a question mark? We should have minimum educational qualification for MLAs and MPs. Yeah, I'm gonna talk under this eye. As Winston Churchill once said, democracy is by no means the best form of government, but it is the best we came up with so far. We just have to live with its shortcomings. I do agree that there should be minimum education for politicians because being a politician is not all about being a public speaker. You also need education for you to be a good leader. A politician should have at least minimum education because you cannot be a leader without the knowledge. And knowledge is obtained through being educated. They are the leaders, and you cannot lead a group of uneducated and educated people without education. Being a good public speaker and a confidential person are added advantages. But there should be a minimum education. Apart from huge examples, let me tell or group as an example. We all are here learning together, but our differences like what board of studies we have and where are we from or doesn't matter here because we are all having a good and well-educated leader or teacher or guide, Mr. Kesavamurthy sir. Think this is for our small community, then for our whole country and nation. Yeah, thus now our politicians need to be qualified and educated. In my view, politicians need a higher education because they are the persons rule the society. Unfortunately, the highly educating people like IAS officers working under the uneducated persons. And also, there is no rule for politicians' education. This is ridiculous, right? Politicians became powerful after winning the elections. Then they need basic knowledge and education to perform their works. A minister having no capability to read and understand files may be unable to take proper decisions on regular basis. It's not good for the country, not at all, but common in many countries. One of the irony in India is the bravest minds are ruled by the stupid minds. Maybe it's the only sin or India carries since independence. And think about this. Some of the ministers they appoint don't have any clue how his or her ministry works. Suppose take the education minister. If we would have a proper person who understands the defects in our system, then our education system would have been changed a long back. And every year, the UPSC conducts civil service examinations to select the best and brightest minds who will form the backbone of India's governance structure. It's shameful that these bright youngsters have to serve as secretaries to illiterate ministers. And please don't harbor the myth that education is a privilege that only a few can afford. If you look at the financial background of students who have secured all Indian ranks in toughest examination, you will find that a large number of them come from a very humble backgrounds. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to clear these examinations. Do you actually believe that? In a country of 130 crore people, we can't find a handful of educated, honest people who can run the government? Yeah, due to this lacuna in the constitution, we are seeing so many people with criminal records becoming ministers. As Swami Vivekananda once said, education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. No matter you're a politician, civilian, education is a right and mandatory process that every human should inherit. I would suggest to select leaders with the quality of education and the how they render that quality through service. Neither the family background nor the economic status of a person propel you to choose them as your leader. Education teaches what is right and what is wrong, but nowadays all politicians are not much educated. They follow corrupt policies without even having the audacity to forecast in results. Yeah, wait. You can also question me. How can you forget our noblest ex-chief minister and talk like this? Yeah, I'm talking about Mr. Kamaraj, sir. I didn't forget them, guys. I can answer you. And have you ever thought 2 years back that you have online classes and online debate? No, not at all. We never think of it. But now it's changed. Yeah, the world was technologically changed. Our moderator told that very sweetly that I'm really happy about it. Our world has changed technologically, and we have to create a future India with full of technologically improved and also developed India. That means we need a politician should have the minimum ideology to understand the key needs and requirements of the society, and it will definitely be giving a positive result in the long run. Thanks for giving me a chance. In my point of view, that the main qualification for the politician should have been the educational qualification, so that our states can run in a better way, people can get awareness among the system, and they can lead in a better way. Let's hope that our generation will see a miracle and have a great future. Be positive and have a nice day. Thank you for giving me the chance in this golden occasion. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lakshana, for a small interruption. I would welcome Mr. Devadas and Mr. Prakash Angappan for this particular meeting. I request the speakers to switch on their video so that people can see your face. The next speaker is Logeswaran, so he can switch on his video. So I welcome you, Mr. Prakash Angappan, plus Mr. Devadas. Thank you for your suggestion, Dr. Devadas, sir. Yeah, Ilakya, you can carry on.
Thank you, Lakshana, for your amazing speech. As you said, a person cannot be a leader without a certain knowledge, and a person with well-educated mind can be a leader. And also, as you said, a person who achieve a lot in their career, who are from a humble backgrounded students. So very, very amazing speech, Lakshana. So now let's move on to the second speaker, who is going to be talking about the negative, which is the opposing point of the topic, Logeshwaran, who is studying 10th standard in ARLM Matriculation Higher Secondary School from Kudus district.
Logeshwaran.
1 second, sir. 1 second, sir.
Yeah. You can switch on your video.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Sir. we have qualifications for right
லோகேஷ்
election. Sir,
உங்கள் ஆடியோ கிளியராக இல்லை, கொஞ்சம் பார்த்துக்குங்க. யூ கேன் கம் க்ளோசர் டு த ஆடியோ. சரி, அப்போ வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிடுங்க. சம்டைம் வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணால் நல்லா வரும், ஆடியோ நல்லா வரும்.
ladies and gentlemen,
Sorry for the interference. Logeshwaran, audio is not, it's not audible. It's not clear. You can switch off your video. You can switch off your video.
yes, sir, as internet interruptions.
Yeah, sometimes when you switch off the video, audio would be better.
சார், அவரோட ஹெட்ஃபோன்ஸோட அந்த பட்டன் வந்து கரெக்டா உட்காரலன்னாலும் இந்த ப்ராப்ளம்.
ஹெட்ஃபோனோட பட்டன் கரெக்டா உட்காரலையாட்டு இருக்கு, பாருங்க.
Sir, now I am clear, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Now it's
clear, yeah. It's clear.
Can I proceed?
Yeah, you can.
Respected ladies and gentlemen, my worthy opponents and my fellow friends, a pleasant evening to one and all present over here. I take this opportunity to present my views against the motion, should we have educational qualification for MLAs and MPs. According to our constitution, the criteria to contest in an election in India is only that the candidate must be an Indian citizen and the age of the candidate must be 25 and above. Again, our constitution says all the citizens have an equal right to exercise their franchise and contest in the election. 2011 census says that India's literacy rate is 74%. So, if we tell that a politician should be educated, that means the rest of 26% of people will lose their right to contest in the election. In our country, many people who are not able to get a proper education because of their financial crisis and family circumstances might lose their right to contest the election. I need to say that though our Indian literacy rate has increased from our independence, but the percentage of the literacy rate is not remarkable when compared to other international countries like US and UK. Hence, before giving educational criteria for MLAs and MPs, we think about literacy rate. Since our country is a democratic country, we all have equal rights freedom and speech. If educational criteria is mandatory means it will hinder people from being a politician. Answer me, my opponents. What do you know about those uneducated peoples living in the remote hamlet areas in the farmost corners of India? Could you list their difficulties? Do you at least know what their immediate needs are and what the government should provide them with? Most probably the answer is no. Now, who can perfectly put those people's problems and sufferings to the government other than the people belonging to such groups? To make a stronger point, let me cite an example. The former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. K. Kamarajar, he never went to school in his childhood, but he was the only reason for the education development and
Do you want to talk for the
literacy. Education was made free in his state and midday meals were introduced.
I know,
So that
but
at
you
least
want
the
to say
hunger
something,
mouths
two
are
lines,
not
like,
sent to work
we have
but
minimum
school.
qualification
The
for
literacy
MLAs
rate in
and
Tamil Nadu is so high
you have to say
because
that
of
yes,
this
we need
issue.
minimum qualification.
Finally, I
Like
wish
you
to
should talk.
conclude that all we need the present scenario is to serve people in service mind, dedicated mind.
No.
In
Now
service
we have
mind
to
is
talk in
more
another 2
important
minutes time.
to both MLAs and MPs
Okay, no problem. Okay.
for the betterment
Yeah,
of
if
the
you
people
if you are
and
willing, you
their
just let me know.
clarity. I'm leaving now with the hope that the respected
Yeah, 2
moderator
minutes, yeah.
will give the result in favor of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Logeshwaran, for your wonderful speech. Your points and examples are really good. So So now let's call Asika, who is studying
Ilakya, we can invite. We can
Good evening,
invite.
sir. I'm here, sir.
We invite Mr. Asan Boy for speaking. Okay.
Sir?
We will invite Asan.
Okay, sir, but I think Asika is there.
Asika is there, huh? Okay. Then
Yes,
you can.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay. Then you can call her.
Yeah.
Sir,
Asika,
sorry,
who
sorry
sir.
for the
One
interruption.
minute, Ilakya. Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption, Keshav sir.
Yeah. Please.
See, if the video is on, I think that should be better.
Yeah.
Because Lokeshwaran had a problem, we asked him to switch off.
Yeah.
But the others, nobody is on video. I'm surprised. So
Yeah.
it's just like looking at a dummy phone and listening. So if at all the video is on, I think that would
be better.
actually
Yes.
suit the
Okay.
situation.
Thank
Please,
you,
sir.
Mr. Prakash, sir. Mr. Ilakya, you can invite Asika and then ask her to open the video.
Yeah. Asika, can you please switch on your video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So she is from GRM Girls Higher Secondary School from Tiruvarur district. Go ahead.
Good evening to respected teachers, worldly opponents, and my dear friends and my partners. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I am Ashika from Tiruvarur. I am studying in 11th standard in CGRM Girls Higher Secondary School. Now, I am going to present my view upon the given topic. Should we have minimum educational qualification for MLAs and MPs? Strongly, I believe that politicians need to be educated because in every sector of society, some basic qualifications are needed before entry of such sector. Politicians become a powerful administrators after winning elections. That they need basic knowledge and education to perform the works for any growing nation. Education is most important aspect in all terms. May it be human development, although education comes after hunger. But no, after 74 years of independence, hunger is not our major problem, but education is. Thus, now our MLAs and MPs need to be qualified and educated. Leaders with no education cannot cope up with the change, hence it hinders country development. Education is necessary for our leaders, for the country's bright future and prosperity. Yeah, MLAs and MPs should be matured, experienced, kind, educated, and should understand people's feelings, and that all comes only from education itself and our moral life. In my point of view, educational qualification for a politician is necessary. Education is actually mandatory for politicians. When we go for a job of even the lowest possible responsibility, there is a certain qualification for it. Then why not for politicians who are going to handle the biggest responsibility? I give some examples. Dr. Radhakrishnan. Dr. Radhakrishnan's contribution toward education has been stupendous, and he felt that education plays an important role in solving many ills of the society. Not only Dr. Radhakrishnan, also people like Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri, Ms. Indira Gandhi, Sri Rajiv Gandhi, Sri Manmohan Singh, Sri Narendra Modi. So, these people also have educational qualifications and they made more changes to develop our nation. So, education can help the politicians for making good policies and laws and can make the nation to grow even faster. Almost for every post in our country, education qualifications of a person is verified. Then why not politicians? They are ones who form the government and runs the country. For this, MLAs and MPs need to understand how economy functions and runs. This knowledge can be better acquired by education. So, what I mean is there should be a certain educational qualification for becoming a politician. They are the decision maker of the country. Education helps to take diplomatic decisions in any situation. And education helps to communicate in convenient way. Without any proper education, how can a politician address the problem of the society? So, MLAs and MPs have educational qualifications as well as experience in public life, very good for effective working. And only these things is not enough. They have also another qualification like sincerity, corruption free, and also understand the people's problems by humanity. Education widens the mental look of a person, and education make one innovative, creative, and encourages individuality. Besides education, also improves leadership quality, essential in a good politician. MLAs and MPs need to administer and draft workable laws for the country. This job responsibility is huge. Any uneducated illiterate who is not able to read and write. So, if a politician is not well educated, he will not have the rights to voice for education for others. So, if the leader is illiterate, there is no use to make all citizens literate. A corruption-free nation will come only from a well-educated leader. At last, for the success of any mission, it is necessary to have a creative leadership. And thanks for giving the wonderful opportunity. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, Asika. I welcome Mr. Nagesh for this session. Nagesh sir, welcome sir. Yeah, Ilakya, carry on.
Yeah, wonderful, Asika. Wonderful speech. Amazing. Now, the next speaker is Hasan, who is studying 10th standard in CMS Metric Higher Secondary School, Coimbatore district. So, please, Hasan.
Good evening, dignitaries who are present here. First of all, I thank all for giving me this opportunity to debate on the topic, should we have minimum education qualification for MLA and MPs? I am Hassan from CMS Coimbatore. I strongly say that education need not be necessary for politics, and politicians should be aware about problems of their respective area, should be a good planner, but it is not necessary that the person having knowledge for their respective domain will understand everything necessary to develop their respective area and sort out the problems of people. So, it is necessary for politics if qualified people join it, but it never should be a necessity. We need a politician who can grasp on poor people's problem or matter. They should have solution about it. I don't think that an engineer or highly qualified people would be aware about this. It is not necessary to have an educated politician. It's intelligence, efficiency, and vision that counts, not how much the person is educated. Education is not the sole parameter for MPs and MLAs because leadership, communication, and understanding the constitution makes a good leader. A job of politician doesn't require him to know about algebraic identities and chemical formulas. We have many examples such as Abraham Lincoln, Narendra Modi, etc., who are not educated but not deny to the fact that they are excellent leaders. Once again, let me remind that my opinion is that an educational qualification for the politician is not at all required. Introducing necessary educational qualification for eligibility for contesting elections in a country like India, where about 80% of the population is illiterate, will go much against the spirit of democracy for the sole reason as it will deprive the majority of the population their right to contest elections. A good politician must be a good leader first, who can take good decisions, empathize with people, have a vision for the future, and of course must know the way to get there. It doesn't really matter if the person owns a degree or not. What matters is his love for the nation. The person should be honest, patriot, and devoted to the country. And unfortunately, there is no such degree bestowed for exhibiting these qualities. Our political representative has to be one of the people, by the people, and for the people. People mean common man. They might have no education constraints for BA, MA degrees, but at least they should have the logic and can give a systematic instruction to the listeners. Now, let us come to the present scenario where we have highly qualified legislature for MLAs and MPs, certified from around the world's best university from Harvard, Oxford. But let me remind you that the most of them have their best foot forward in all the scams, taking taking from the 2G scams, cold scam, and what is not. The nation is now fed up of people with high calamity. So what we want is people with honesty, integrity, and commitment. To conclude, educational qualification is not much important for politicians. The politicians should know about the problems which are facing by the people and should put great efforts for solving them. Politicians are to serve people, not to teach people. For example, Mother Teresa serves her people a lot. It's due to her big heart, but not due to her educational qualification. Politicians should have a great heart like her than educational qualification. Once again, thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Asan. I welcome Mr. Shankar Manivannan for this meeting. Welcome, sir. Ilakya, you can continue.
Wonderful, four of you guys did a great job. And my last 1 minute speech for this debate is let the democracy find its own way. I'm strongly in the favor of educating our leaders. If not, then at least train them in few basic philosophies on which our country was formed and some basic knowledge of public administration and the current scenario and problems our country is facing. And so I'm in the favor of institution that would make some kind of education compulsory for them and also teach them after they are elected. This way we can ensure that they are just don't bunk parliamentary sessions or sit there drooling or sleeping. So this is what my conclusion. Now let's give this section to the audience to give their opinion about our speakers.
Yeah, I request all our dignitaries to give suggestions and any tips to our students. I request all our dignitaries, Murli, Mr. Prakash Angappan, Shankar Manivannan, Mr. Nagesh Sir, Mr. Padmanabhan, Mr. Srinivas, any of you please give your tips, suggestions to our students.
Can I start with Kesavamurthy?
Yeah, please, sir, please.
See, I'm happy to see all these youngsters, Hassan, Ilakya, and a host of others, to be participating today. This is actually what ILS was those days, to encourage youngsters to come forward and express themselves freely and give them an opportunity to develop the skills of public speaking. This was the idea, and I'm really happy that the movement is picking up, and I hope these youngsters bring in more of their colleagues and friends so that we'll see the association grow. Congratulations to you all. I'm very happy.
Yeah, Mr. Murli Madasamy, I would love to have some tips from you.
Am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Yeah, I appreciate the enthusiasm shown by all the participants. My only point of observation is I find that there is an imported accent to the English or artificial accent, whether it is natural or produced accent, I do not know, but I will appreciate if people start talking in their natural English rather than trying to copy the accent from foreign countries. Otherwise, the speakers were all very good, and I really appreciate the enthusiasm shown by them and the initiative taken by you.
Yeah, thank you, Murli, for your tips. Maybe you can switch off your audio now Can I request Mr. Nagesh Mahadevan to give his suggestions?
Thank you, Mr. Kesavamurthy. Firstly, I appreciate every contestant who participated in this debate. I congratulate them on their attempt. They have done a good job. I appreciate them, and everyone have spoken well. And I am not judging whatever they said, because no judgment is a final judgment. And the very fact that they came forward to participate in this debate, that itself is worthy of praise. And I wish every one of them the best in their career. I wish every one of them develop progress in their oratorical skills, public speaking skills, and there is a long way to go. The path is not easy, but it is not impossible either. It is possible. And do not bother much about pronunciation now, because accent, because every one of us speak with an accent. When it comes to any language which is not ours, there would be an accent, and that is not avoidable. In order to speak a language without an accent, for instance, English, if you want to speak English, you need, without an accent, you need to speak like they speak in England. Even within England, every county, they have a different they speak with an accent. So the one which is spoken in London by a class of people, that is accepted as standard English. Anyway, that is not very important now. What is important now is build on your speaking skills, build on your confidence. I am able to see a good confidence and enthusiasm in every speaker. I also encourage the other youngsters in ILS to come forward to deliver speeches. Do not feel shy, do not feel nervous. We are all here to help, and we all learn. Every one of us have learned from the beginning. Even we were not good in the beginning. Even now, none of us are perfect, but we are all learning. Learning is a continuous process, especially when it comes to communication in any language, even if it is our own mother tongue, be it Tamil or Telugu or Hindi. There is no end, there is no limit for developing communication skills. It keeps evolving. So please continue to learn and show enthusiasm. Also encourage your other friends, your classmates, to join such debates, and tell them to venture into speaking, participating in such debates. It's only when you make an attempt, you will be able to overcome all nervousness. And as you keep practicing, as you keep trying, as you keep making more and more attempts in participating in events like this, only then you will develop the skills, and you will develop confidence, and you will reach a point when you will feel very comfortable, and you will continue to learn with ease. So I do not want to take long. I appreciate once again every participant. I congratulate them for their decision to participate. I congratulate their efforts. I wish every one of you the best in your academics, in your career, and in your personal lives. May God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Nagesh sir. Can I now request Mr. Prakash Angappan to give his tips to our students?
Sir, 1 second, sir.
No problem, sir. We'll wait.
Camera மாறி வருது சார். Really sorry.
Okay.
But
audio is there, sir. Audio எனக்கு கேக்குது. நீங்க பேசலாம்.
பரவாயில்ல. ஓகே, தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் தி ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி கேஷவ் சார். அண்ட் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் நம்ம ஐஎல்எஸ்ல வெகு நாளைக்கு முன்னால பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம் சார். ஐ ரிமெம்பர். இப்போ நீங்க திருப்பி இதை ஆன்லைன் பண்ணும்போது இதை வந்து இன்னும் பெரிய லெவலுக்கு கொண்டு போகலாம் அப்படிங்கறது என்னோட. தமிழ்ல பேசலாம்ல சார்?
பேசலாம் சார், பேசலாம்.
ஓகே ஓகே. அதனால இதை இன்னும் பெரிய லெவல்ல ஒய் நாட் வி திங்க் அண்ட் டேக் இட் டு ஹையர் லெவல் அப்படிங்கிறதும். அண்ட் அவர் சீனியர்ஸ் ஹூவர் ஸ்போக் ஜஸ்ட் நவ் ஹஸ் ரியலி பாயிண்டட் அவுட் வெல். நம்ம அக்சென்ட்டை வந்து ரொம்ப ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுத்து பேசுற மாதிரி தெரியுது. நேச்சுரல், லெட் இட் பி நேச்சுரல். அண்ட் யூ சில்ட்ரன் ஹவ் டன் ஃபென்டாஸ்டிக். ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்துச்சு கேட்கறதுக்கு. அண்டு இது வந்து நீங்களா முயற்சி எடுத்து எழுதியிருந்தீங்கன்னா உண்மையிலேயே என்னுடைய பாராட்டுக்கள். அவ்வளோ நல்லா இருந்துச்சு. எவ்ரி திங் ஹேட் அ மீனிங் டு வாட் எவர் யூ செட். அண்ட் ஐ வுட் லவ் டு சி எனி ஆஃப் யூ ஆன் த ஹெம் ஆஃப் த கண்ட்ரிஸ் அஃபேர். அப்படி இருந்ததுன்னா இதுல இருந்து டெவலப் ஆனது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கும். எவ்ரி வீக் வி அட்வைஸ் யூ டு கைண்ட்லி ஜாயின் ஐஎல்எஸ். அத்தனை விஷயம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். இன்னைக்கு ஐஎல்எஸ்ல வந்து சேர்ந்து படிச்சவங்க வெளியூர்ல அவ்வளோ டாப் பொசிஷன்ஸ்ல இருக்காங்க. அவங்க எல்லாத்துக்கும் இந்த ஸ்பீச்சுங்கிறது ஒரு ஃபியர் இல்லாம திஸ் ஐஎல்எஸ் ஹஸ் ஹெல்ப் தெம் ஆஸ் அ பிளாட்ஃபார்ம். ஸோ ஐ வுட் ரியலி ரெக்கமெண்ட் தட் you take it forward through in the platform of ILS. And another one thing is, நீங்க ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணும்போது உங்க பாடி லாங்குவேஜ் நல்லா இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆகணும்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா the best platform is to sit alone in a room in front of a mirror. So in front of a mirror முன்னாடி, உங்க ட்ரெஸ்ஸிங் டேபிள் மிரர் முன்னாடி நின்னீங்கன்னா உங்களோட பாடி லாங்குவேஜை நீங்க நல்லபடியா கரெக்ட் பண்ண முடியும். திஸ் வாஸ் ஒன் ஸ்பீக்கர் எங்களுக்கு சொன்னது. ஸோ இட்ஸ் வெரி குட். அண்ட் கேஷவ் சார் அண்ட் இலக்கியா, போத் ஆஃப் யூ ஹேவ் டன் அ ஃபென்டாஸ்டிக் ஜாப் சார். அண்ட் இதுல ஒரு பார்ட்டா இருக்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்படுறேன். And let this grow well, and let this be more and more people come. And I would also recommend that in the platformல இன்னைக்கு படிச்சவங்க இல்லாம இன்னும் நிறைய பேர் இந்த ஐஎல்எஸ் மீட்டிங்க்கு எவ்ரி வீக் அட்டென்ட் பண்ணுங்க. ப்ளீஸ் கம் எவ்ரி வீக். we have a minute a member அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு நிமிஷம் உங்களுக்கு ஒதுக்குவாங்க. அதுல நீங்க பகிர்ந்து கொள்றீங்களோ இல்லையோ, பட் தேர் 20 மெம்பர் இருக்காங்கன்னா 20 விஷயத்தை நீங்க வித்தின் ஸ்பேன் ஆஃப் 15-20 மினிட்ஸ் நீங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். அந்த அளவுக்கு இது இன்ஃபர்மேட்டிவ் ஃபோரம். ஸோ இதை ரொம்ப ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லான ஃபோரம். மேக் யூஸ் ஆஃப் இட். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் Srinivas is also in this forum. ஸோ இவங்க எல்லாத்துடைய ஃபோன் நம்பர்ஸும் வாங்கி, if you can start expanding the group. I think நீங்க ஒரு மீட்டிங்க்கு ஒரு 100-200 இன்வைட்ஸ் அனுப்புற மாதிரி வந்துச்சுன்னா ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கும். அட்லீஸ்ட் அது ஒரு 40-50 பேர் சேருவாங்க. இந்த நம்மளோட ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் ஆஃப் நாட் மீட்டிங், we have to take it to our advantage. That is what is my point. நம்ம அட்வான்டேஜுக்குன்னா, if we can use this platform and go about making more and more people join virtually. I think each meeting 50 பேர் 60 பேர்லாம் ஒரு மீட்டிங்க்கு வந்தாங்கன்னா எவ்வளோ தூரம் நல்லா இருக்கும். I think Kannan, you are available. Pon Ratnavel, you are there. So if you are there, or Keshav sir, kindly convey the message to our organizers and let them send out the meeting invites of every week to all the participants who are here today, and you can start expanding. And regarding this, I will talk to Mr. Srinivas also and Pon Kannan also. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. நீங்க இப்படி ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கிட்டையும் அவங்க ஃபீட்பேக் கேட்கணுங்கிற அவசியம் இல்லை. ஆனா நீங்க எல்லாம் மரியாதை கொடுத்து இவ்வளவு தூரம் கேட்கறது ஒரு சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. Thank you, and thank you for all your efforts. And Ilakya, well done, Ilakya, and all the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash Angapan sir. Ungaluடைய wish, let it come true. Any of them will become the gem of this country after some time. Now Srinivas, I think, has left. Now I request 2 students to just take 1 minute and give their thought. Mr. Samuel, can you just express your views on this topic, if you wish? Samuel is there? Mr. Samuel?
Yes, sir.
You can give us, he's our student. இது ஒரு சர்ப்ரைஸ் தான், அவருக்கு சொல்லக்கூட கிடையாது. Let him express his views.
The views on this topic?
Yeah, about the topic, yes.
Yes, sir. So, I just think that education must be a qualifying thing because it kind of tells others that the person is well qualified and people have some kind of faith in them. Because if someone just comes and tells I'm MLA, maybe people won't find that impact. So maybe with some education qualification and other leadership qualities with communication skills would make a very good MLA, which would lead to government.
Yeah, thank you, Samuel. Now I request Mr. Vijayaraghvan sir, welcome to the meeting. Welcome, Mr. Vijayaraghvan. உங்களுடைய ஒரு சில சஜஷன்ஸ் விஜயராகவன். நாங்கள் ஆக்சுவலாக டாக் முடிஞ்சிருச்சு. நீங்கள் உங்களுடைய விஷஸ் டு அவர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கொடுங்களேன். ஓ, ஸ்ரீனிவாஸ் has come. Srinivas sir, please. I request you to give some tips to our students.
Yes, sir. பேசிட்டே இருந்தாங்களா, ஸோ அதனால பண்ணிட்டேங்க சார். சாரி. ஸோ 4 ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லாவே இருந்துச்சுங்க சார். பட் ஸோ people need to keep improvising what you are doing. First, in initial stages, you need to practice on the topics. So that is a good initiative in improvising your language. So the first step is well done, and you have to keep doing this for quite a period of time. Only then you will be developing your own vocabulary or some stand. So you will be having a stand only if you keep practicing it. On certain topics, we should abide someone. So we should obey some certain topics. Later on, you shall develop your own contents, and you will find more people, and you will get interact with so many people, and you develop yourself.
ஸ்ரீனிவாஸ், உங்கள் இது கொஞ்சம் இதாகுது, ஆடியோ கொஞ்சம் டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆகுதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். தேங்க்யூ ஸ்ரீனிவாஸ் for your tips.
Even if at that stage, you must keep learning and you must keep improvising. Like a better to keep this for your friends. Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Srinivas. Now I request Mr. Vijayaraghavan. Vijayaraghavan, I think due to some connection problem is there. Maybe can we go on to vote of thanks? Ilakya, who will give vote? Arshida, can you give vote of thanks to everybody? Arshida is there. For all the dignitaries and the students community who had come for the meeting, can you give an vote of thanks? Arshida, are you there? Okay. Ilakya, you can do that. We will close the meeting by this. I think Vijayaraghavan is trying to join, but he is not able to join.
Yes, sir. I'm really privileged to hear such an appreciable words from all of them, and they have inspired me a lot from their words, and they have given a lot of suggestions to improve our skills and to improve our accents, everything. So thanks a lot, everyone, for your amazing comments on our debate session.
Yeah, thank you all the dignitaries for coming over to this meeting. I welcome you all for our other meetings. So we will be sending the invitation along with ILS, and then probably we will take it forward as you wish to a larger crowd throughout Tamil Nadu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Keshav, sir. Wish everybody all well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Murli.